Hello, hello, and welcome to day 1 of our healing week. It's healing week. Can you imagine that? Oh, well, you see, healing week is something that I wanted to bring to this group for a very long time. I just didn't know what to call it. I didn't know what it was going to look like. And all of a sudden, it's funny how synchronistic this workshop came to me. It was just something that I downloaded right away. And it's like, okay, no, I got to do this, this, and this. And it came so easily. So I'm super excited to bring this to you guys. And and see what you guys get out of it. All right. So for those of you new to the group, my name is Trisha Schinkel. I am your awakening life coach and healer from myawakeningjourney.com. So my mission is to help you on your awakening journey, to make things a lot more easier, understandable, simplify everything, because things can get really convoluted in your awakening journey. Let's not kid ourselves. And especially when you're on the healing journey, when you're in this place of healing, it comes to you only when you're ready, right? You can't force healing. It's not something that you can make happen for yourself. You can try, but if you are not energetically ready to heal, you won't, right? And the thing is too about healing is that you need to have the tools to set you up to heal properly, right? So then if you have the right tools, you're going to be able to fight through and all the blocks, the energetic blocks that come up and the mental and emotional blocks that come up. That's the biggest thing. Is when I started on my awakening journey, it was because I was depressed and I had such high anxiety. I didn't know what to do with myself, but really I was in that depressed state for a long time. And then anxiety kind of came later, right? But I didn't like it, right? And nobody does. Why would you want to be in that place, right? And I'm like, well, all I wanted was happiness and an easy life. And I wanted to have that life that I saw other people have. And I'm like, that can't be just a dream. That has to be reality. Like that's got to be real if it's being shown to me, right? So I chased it and I followed the path of breadcrumbs and it led me here, right? So I put together a 5-day workshop for everybody, kind of highlight it. We got 5 days. I got topics for each day. Each topic that I'll be going into this week is something that I found was profound for my healing and my learning and my growth. So I want to share that with you, right? Now, if it works for you, great. If it doesn't, then move on to the next one, right? Like, I'm not saying all of this has to work for you too, because this was my path and I'm just sharing a part of my path with you, right? Okay, so the good thing is this week we are going to have 5 Reiki sessions, okay? And Reiki is Japanese relaxation technique, right? It's energy, breaking up energy blockages in your body, aligning your chakras, aligning your systems, aligning your meridians and your everything in your body that makes things flow, right? And that is going to be big. So I'm going to end each day with Reiki, which is big. And we're going to pull some cards. I'm going to get into the topics each day, and then we're going to pull some cards for clarification on that, right? And kind of get our higher selves to expand a little bit more on what the notes that I wrote down, right? So I got my notes here, right here. I'm going to be referring to them a lot because I want to stay on track, and I want to make it make sense for you guys, right? Okay, so let's get into day 1. Day 1, we are talking about ego versus intuition. Now, I did also share a podcast episode, I think, I should have wrote it down, but I think it's like episode 5, 4, 5, 3, somewhere around there. Anyway, so I shared it. I go into depth about ego and intuition, what I've learned about it, how to use it, how to access it. So I want to kind of briefly touch on that today, okay? So of course we know that the role of the ego is to keep you safe, right? It's that ego is a part of your reptilian brain that is like a survival mechanism, right? That in a nutshell is the ego. But I mean, it can work to your advantage or it cannot, right? And for me, ego has been a big problem. A really big problem, because I've had a big inflated one for a very long time, and I'm not too proud to admit that. So I have worked on it a lot throughout my spiritual journey, because I found that as soon as you start like learning stuff in your journey, your ego gets big. You're like, oh, I know this, and I have to teach everybody this, right? But what if they're not in a place that they're ready to learn it, right? So you can't really force things on people. And I used to do that. I used to be like, oh my God, you have to know this, right? But now I'm taking a step back, and I'm making things like this where I'm, you can choose to watch this video or not, right? Everything that I teach you, everything that I'm sharing with you, you can either take it or you don't. It's up to you what you do with the information. I'm just putting it out there in my perspective, because I feel that the more perspectives that you have to learn this information, the better chances that you're gonna retain it, right? And it's gonna work for you. Okay, so of course, ego isn't something I want to get rid of, right? A lot of spiritual people, I find, they're like, oh, we have to kill the ego. We have to get rid of the ego because it's no good for you. Well, guess what? It's a part of you. It's actually your personality, right? It's actually that part of you that gives you flair. It kind of gives you spice and everything. And so you don't really want to get rid of ego. It's something that is a part of you, but you don't want it to be your enemy either, right? So, because when you make enemies with ego, that's when you have self-sabotage come up for you, and you hit your glass ceilings when you're on your path. You're trying to get to the next level, but then you find yourself getting stuck and stagnant, and you're like, I don't know, I keep hitting this brick wall and I can't get past this certain point on my healing, or I'm working on this issue in my life, and I only get up to a certain point and then I just have to stop, right? Because it's your ego is trying to keep you safe. So it's telling your brain all these reasons why you shouldn't be doing something that you really want to do. Say if you're taking a meditation course, or if you are learning Reiki, or if you're learning an energy healing modality, or if you're learning to to channel, or to be a medium, or, whatever it is that you're on the path of learning and expanding on in this spiritual journey, your brain is going to try to talk you out of everything new. Because to ego, anything new is death, right? So it's like, stop right now. This is foreign stuff. We don't know what can come out of this. So it's going to try to stop you, right? So just be aware. I strongly recommend, when you are trying something new, when you're taking a course or trying to better yourself in some way, be aware of how ego is going to come up and try to get in your way, because it's going to try to protect you. But in reality, it's actually keeping you in your comfort zone, which is doing nothing for you, right? So be aware of that, right? So let me see here. So intuition. So we're going to talk a little bit about intuition. So, and obviously we understand that intuition is that innate part of you. You can't really describe it. It's just like, it's more solar plexus stuff, right here. Where it's your will, your intuition, you just know in your heart of hearts that, things are a certain way because they are, right? And you don't need to know why, you just know that they are. That's, your clairsentience coming in, your knowing. It is a direct connection. Your intuition is a direct connection. It's like that direct line to your higher self, right? So once you start paying attention to your intuition, once you start paying attention to that connection, you can start to strengthen it. It's like a muscle, right? So you want to strengthen it. You want to get connected with it so it can work for you in an instant, instead of like when you're in a situation and you want your intuition to tell you something, but your ego is too loud and you can't hear because, so and then later on, after the situation is done, you think back, you're like, oh, I should have done this instead of that, because your intuition is now speaking to you, and you can hear it now, because the frantic, like when you, the difference between intuition and ego really is the feelings that you get. It's the energy that you're living in, right? So when you're in ego, it's going to be frantic. It's going to be fearful. It's going to be, like, oh my gosh, I got to get this together, right? But when you're in intuition, it's really calm. It's really, you kind of sit back in this place and you're like, I got this, right? I know the answer to this. I know where I'm going with this. I know how to get to this next step that I want, right? So just be aware of what energy you are, because you could be going through your day, and if you're not aware of what your thoughts are feeding you and telling you how to go, then they're going to lead you astray if you let ego jump in, right? These are just things I know you know, but you also sometimes need a reminder so that you can make it work for you, right? So ego is very much human brain, right? And intuition is your soul. That's a good way to kind of put it, right? So ego, I wrote this down. It says, ego is loud and it likes to overcomplicate things. That is very true, right? That is your human brain saying, and your human brain is not equipped to know everything, right? Your soul is. Your soul has an infinite capacity to knowledge and to wisdom and to everything that you need, and it's got connection to your higher self. So your higher self can actually see the bird's eye view of your life. It can see, it's like the higher self is on the mountaintop and you are in the valley. And your higher self, if you're not listening to your higher self through your intuition, then you could lead yourself astray through the valley. You're trying to lead yourself out and your intuition is saying turn left, but your ego's like, that doesn't look safe. You should go this way. You should turn right. So you listen to ego and then you come to a dead end, right? But if you listen to intuition, you would have gone a little bit of a path, a little bit winded, but it would have gotten you to where you wanted to go, right? So there are some things that I wanted to mention about ego and intuition. So I want to talk about wants versus needs, right? Okay, we're going to talk about wants and needs because sometimes your wants can coincide with your needs, right? But mostly it's about what you need and not what you want. That's on the spiritual path, right? When you're on the spiritual path and you say, ask some oracle cards, some questions, you want to get some answers. Sorry, my eyes watering. You ask a question and if you're in a really highly charged energetic state, like an emotional, highly charged emotionally, and you pull cards, your ego is going to be too loud because the emotions are super charged, right? If you're in a situation, you want to be in a neutral state, in that intuition state. If you're going to be pulling cards to get answers, you're not going to get the right answers, right? You're going to get, the cards are going to feed off of the energy that you're outputting, right? So if you're highly charged on an emotion, those cards are going to be highly charged on that emotion too. So it's going to be picking that up. So you're not going to get, like, it's going to be skewed, right? So what you want to hear and what you need to hear typically are a little bit different, right? So the human itself, right? Like I said, when I started on this path, I wanted nothing more but to find happiness, right? But I didn't realize what that equates to. So I'm going to share something with you. There's 7 basic needs that a human needs to thrive. Okay. We need air. We need water, right? Basics. We need sleep and connection to dreaming. So connection to dreaming, this is you recharging your spirit and physical body. Without it, you would be a psychotic in 11 days. Right? If you did not sleep and dream, you would go crazy. So we all obviously need shelter. We need food. We need connections and relationships, right? Not necessarily to other humans. It could be a relationship with the cosmos. It could be a relationship to animals, to trees, to nature, right? So in some form of connection is what you need. And when you are not connected, you'll feel it, right? Your body, you're going to start to deteriorate. And you need, the last thing, number 7, is self-expression and creativity. You need to be able to self-express. You need to be able to have that creative outlet in order to thrive. So if one of these areas are not met, you're not going to be thriving. You're not going to be happy, right? So most of the time, a lot of the time, obviously we have air, we have water, we have sleep, right? If you're not sleeping well, work on that. Food, the quality of food that you're putting in your body, keep that in mind, right? That could be a whole nother episode. I could be talking about shelter. We all have that, right? Hope to God. If you're watching these videos, I'm sure you do. But connections and self-expression with creativity, those are things that lack in our lives at times, right? So we really want to pay attention to, if we're not at our best and we want to live a better life, look at these areas of your life and say, what in these 7 areas am I not meeting? Because that is so important. That is all you need to thrive. So if you have all this, everything else is just going to fall into place, right? So let me just see here. If you get what you want, you're not always going to be happy, right? But if you get what you need, you'll tend to be a little bit more happier, right? What we think we need, like I want to go back to me wanting to be happy, right? Wanting to be happy, in that moment, I was depressed because I didn't have any creative expression in my life. I didn't have any ways of expressing myself. And I was like shutting myself down, and I was punishing myself in the depression is at the beginning. And so that was in 2016. It went on for a very long time. Before that, it started in 2013, and it was 3 solid years there where I was really not doing well, right? But it was because I thought I needed more money. I thought I needed more status. I thought I needed, like these are things that we're taught in society. Societal teachings tell us that we need money, which we do, absolutely. I'm not saying that we don't need money. I'm saying you need enough money to have the 7 basic needs, but you actually don't need any more. It's just the wanting and the desire is what's really driving your emotions and what you are capable of, right? So, all right, I've talked a lot, but I just wanted to really break that down for you guys so that you can recognize in your own life how you are meeting your needs and if what's leading you. Is it your ego or your intuition, right? We can go through anywhere up to a lifetime of living in our ego, right? And that is not a very fulfilling, exciting life. But when you start connecting with intuition and you start connecting with your higher self, getting that bird's eye view of your life and being able to turn left and turn right when you need to, right? Being able to navigate the valley from your higher self instead of from your lower self, your lower mind, your human ego mind. Keep that in mind. Okay. So I want to pull some cards. I got my chakra oracles out and I want to pull these and just kind of get a little bit more clarification from our higher selves. I'm going to ask for our collective higher selves to step in and to give us a little bit more guidance on this topic, give us a little bit more clarity on what we need to focus on, give us a little bit more answers, right? Give us some more answers. There we are. There's one. Okay. So I got 3 cards. Let's see. Destiny. Destiny is the first one that popped out. Now, for me, destiny is very interesting. I'm surprised that the higher self took it this way, but okay. So destiny to me is like you have soul contracts before you come into this world, right? Before you incarnate into this life, you meet with your spirit team, you put together a plan, and there's certain markers in your life that you are going to hit. How you get to those markers is the free will, right? So there's, somebody's gonna pass away, say your grandma passes away when you're young, and that really impacts you. And so that sends you on a different path, right? And then you are supposed to get that job in, the corporate job that of your dreams you think that you're supposed to do because that's what society tells you you're supposed to do, right? So you go there, but then on the way you discover something about yourself that changes that trajectory. That's a part of destiny, right? It's those moments on your path that changes the trajectory of what you think your human mind is telling you what you're supposed to do and what you know you need to do are two different things. So destiny is in your hands at all times. There are markers in you're going to meet this certain person, you're going to have this experience, you're going to marry that person, you're going to have these many children or not have any children. You know what I mean? Like there's certain things on the markers on your road that's going to, you're going to hit, but again, it's your choice on how you get there, how long it takes you or how long it doesn't take you, right? Getting connected with your intuition is going to help you get there a lot faster than listening to your human brain and getting all sidetracked, right? That's it. The next card that came out was Soulmate. Soulmate, which is very interesting. I was like, why is this coming out? So Soulmate, we're talking about the 7 basic needs, right? We're going to talk about connection, and that is what I feel the higher self is really trying to clarify in this. So I'm just going to ask for clarification here. Okay, so soulmates, yeah, it's that connection. It's that heart connection. That's what's important. You need to have those connections. So look at your circle of people in your life, your friends, family, your acquaintances, who you spend your time with. Who are you spending your time with? Are they building you up or are they ripping you down, right? Are they complaining all the time? Or are there somebody that can find the solution in every problem, right? Who's looking for the solutions and who are looking for the problem in the problem? That's where you got to differentiate. If you have that soulmate connection, if you have that heart-centered connection, then you are going to thrive so much more in your life. Right? Bottom line, you just got to pay attention to what's going on. And a lot of the times we live our lives not paying attention. We're just doing. We're just reacting. Sorry, throat chakra here. But we're going through life. We're just basically, reacting to things that are happening and not connected to that heart and getting in that space of feeling love for other people and things around you and for yourself, right? So that soulmate connection, that is a root chakra thing. This is a red card. So this is more root chakra. This is based in survival. This is your, childhood stories that you're bringing with you. You got to pay attention to what things, the meanings you give things from when you were a child. Have they changed those meanings or are you still following those meanings in your adult life now? Because those probably aren't going to work for you, right? And the last card that came out was gratitude. So gratitude for what you have been through. Because life is going to throw you hard things. You came to Earth not for the easy stuff, right? This is a hard planet. This is the planet that excels your growth and your spirituality, right? Or your spiritual growth and your soul growth, right? So be grateful for all of the hardships that you had because that is propelling you faster and faster into the light, right? Keep that in mind. No matter how hard things get in your life, if you have gratitude, if you are grateful for whatever it is that's coming up for you, even though it's really shitty and you feel stuck and you're like, I don't know how this is ever going to change, it's going to. Nothing ever lasts forever, right? Everything is constantly changing. You can guarantee on that. And it's a matter of being thankful in those moments where you feel like there's nothing to be thankful for. You still have things to be thankful for. You just have to remind yourself that, because, sorry, that is ego, right? Ego is telling you you have nothing to be thankful for. You have nothing. So you might as well give up now, right? Intuition's like, well, you do have a roof over your head. You do have connection with other people if you allow it, right? You can't cut that connection off to other people, right? You need that soulmate connection. You need it, right? So follow your destiny. Allow the path to guide you in a way that is fun and exciting, and it doesn't have to be hard. The only thing that makes it hard is the level of resistance that you have towards where you are going, where you are being pushed by the universe, where you are being guided to by your guides, by your angels, by your higher self, right? We have this whole team. Some of us have like 5, 6 angels. Some of us have like 100 angels around us, right? Angels, guides, spirit beings, whatever, guiding us. We don't know it. We forget it. We need to be reminded. So here I am reminding you that you have this team. Use them. Say, hey guys, I need some answers. I need some clarification on this issue that I'm dealing with in my life, right? And you're gonna get it. It may not come in that minute because you may not be ready for it, right? You might be wanting it so bad that when you have that like desire that you need an answer right then and there, you're not gonna get it because you're blocking it off with the desire, with the need, right? It's basically take a step back into your intuition and be like, you know what? I'm being guided. I don't like what I'm seeing right now, but I know that this is serving a purpose. Just sit in that and say, you know what? I know that there's something in this for me to learn. I know that there's something here for me to grow from. And I'm going to take that in, right? So I just want to go. Okay. So I'm going to shut this alarm off. Sorry, I should have done this before. Okay, because now I want to get into the actual healing portion of our healing week, right? So the Reiki energy healing, right? I want to allow you to digest all that I've shared with you, all that we've kind of dug into today. I don't want to go too far deep into all these topics because I just want to lightly touch on them, because if this is something that you want to dive deeper into, you can always book a one-on-one with me, right? You can do one-on-one sessions or you can do the coaching, whatever. So now I want you to get into a comfortable place. I'm going to put on some music and we are going to get the Reiki energy flowing. Now, this is going to last about 5-10 minutes, not very long, but it's going to be powerful, right? And we're going to work, my intention for today's Reiki healing is to clear anything that is blocking you from hearing your intuition and hugging your ego and saying thank you for sharing with me all of your worries about life, but I got it from here, right? Thank you, ego, for keeping me safe, because that's its job, but I'm going to listen to intuition, right? Okay. All right, sit back. I'm going to turn some music on. And it's just going to be a healing for you because you deserve this. All right, so get comfortable, close your eyes, relax. I want you to take in deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Again, in through the nose, really clear that space, filling up that belly, and out through the mouth. Good. One more deep breath in through the nose, and out through the mouth. Good. Now I want you to completely relax every part of your body. I want you to relax from head to toe. And really sink into your seat. Sink in to that place where you are. Allow the energy to ground you into your body, into this space. You are safe and you are secure. I want you to focus on your third eye, in between your brow on your forehead. Just focus your energy there. Open and expand your third eye so you can get that connection to your higher self established. No more worries that you're not connected, because you always are. You always have been. And you always will be. Don't forget that. want you to bring your awareness back to your body, back to here and now. Bring your attention back to your body. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Fill up your belly and out through your mouth. Again, in through your nose. And sigh on the way out. Go, ah. All right. You can open your eyes when you are ready. Come back in. Feel a little bit more cleared, a little bit more focused, centered. All right, I'm just gonna close up any cleansing here. Close up your chakras, center that up. Okay, how do you feel? Whew. Sometimes I can feel a lot. Sometimes I don't feel anything at all, but that one I felt my third eye come on like crazy, because we're talking about intuition and ego, a little third eye stuff, right? So I feel like more and more you lean into your intuition, the more and more you're going to be able to use it, right? So just stick with that knowing, try out different things. See, pay attention to when ego starts freaking out. Be like, hey, ego, what are you doing? Why do you think this is so scary, right? Start questioning things. Start questioning your ego, question your thoughts, and see where that takes you. All right. Well, I want to say thank you so much for joining me for day 1 of Healing Week. We have 5 days of healing this week, so I'm excited to get to the next one tomorrow. I'll see you again then. Mwah. See you soon. Bye-bye.